So far, ICE, Homeland Security, even with massive help from the U.S. military and unlimited budget, can't make it happen. So there is a plan to do it. Trump allies circulate mass deportation plan calling for processing camps and a private citizen army. This is reporting from Politico. The group, led by Blackwater veteran Erik Prince, has close Trump ties. Erik Prince, founder CEO of the private military contractor Blackwater, probably the most famous mercenary in the Western Hemisphere, joins us now. Erik, good to see you. Thank you. Is it possible for the current government, as we think about it, to fulfill Donald Trump's promise of deporting 12 million illegal aliens by November of 2026, 500,000 a month?
And first of all, Leland, let me clarify. This is not some idea of a private army, and bad on your producers for saying it's a private army. It was a memo generated to describe how to achieve the logistics necessary to move the millions of people that they intend to deport. Blackwater as a company doesn't exist anymore. It sells some ammunition is all. It's not a private military company. So, you know, for Politico to try to sex this up, it's ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Well, a couple things. I mean, first of all, that was Politico. It wasn't my producers. I read the headline. Number two, I called you the former CEO, which I think is true. The company doesn't exist anymore. We're trying to identify to the audience your credentials and how you'd understand this. So let's get to the story. Deport 12 million by November 2026, 500,000 illegal immigrants a month. Is that possible for the government to do?
It is possible for the government to source the capability to do that. I mean,
okay.
Look, if you mobilize the entire U.S. military and use all the U.S. Air Force aircraft, perhaps that's possible. What that memo describes is how to do it in a legal, ethical manner to get people the due process they need before they're deported. And you know, this all comes down to the logistics issue of how do you fly that many people out? If people think it's a huge number, think about how we've been invaded. We've had millions of people float into the country illegally, actually paying the cartels to smuggle them in. So it's no,
look, there's no,
it's a matter of scale.
There's no debate that this is a massive problem. The memo exists, as you've noted, but in the memo it talks about using private aircraft. 49, I think you said that you all had access to a private aircraft to run these flights. Does that sort of tacit admission that the way the government has been doing this so far, the Trump administration using C-17s at $29,000 an hour, flying them to Gitmo, flying them back because Gitmo wasn't ready, has been much more about theater than actually achieving this goal?
Well, it's a matter of actually scaling up, because the Biden administration was doing quite the opposite. They were facilitating the invasion. Now to reverse that train, to reverse that momentum of the caravans of people flowing through Latin America, coming to America. Yeah, it is Tom Homan and the CBP team have a difficult task. And this memo describes how to supplement that capability with what the private sector does best, find a way to do something cheaper, better, and faster at greater scale.
Okay, so cheaper, better, and faster. At some point, though, you're also up against just sort of the Constitution and public opinion. I know you think you have that figured out, but in terms of private citizens or hiring people to do this, offering some kind of bounty for people turning in illegal aliens, do you not realize how quickly the media will turn this against you and the Trump administration, or does it not matter?
Look, I love the United States of America. We're supposed to be a nation of laws. Trump certainly campaigned on getting the immigration situation under control, which was completely out of control. And so the private sector can step up and provide those options. If they want to take it, great. If not, we will continue doing what we're doing on our day jobs.
When you say if they want to take it, do you have any indication from the government that they're interested in any of this?
No indication so far.
Why do you think that is?
It's a matter of bureaucratic process, and I'm sure they're trying to exhaust all the internal government capability first. But eventually, if they're going to hit those kind of numbers and scale, they're going to need additional private sector. the fact is, the deportation flights for years, even when other administrations are doing it, were largely contractor managed and operated. They're not returning out a C-17. A C-17 is an enormously expensive aircraft to move around.
Yeah, no, it seems like the way you're describing what's being done so far, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's kind of been wasteful. And what you're saying is there's a cheaper, better way to do it.
They're using what capability they have off the shelf immediately. And, you know, every one of those Air Force units has a certain amount of training hours they have to get. So there's certain things they can use as part of their monthly budget. But to do this at scale, it's going to require additional capacity. And that's what this memo describes how to do.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.